Hey guys, what's up? Hey, this is George, Survive and Thrive TV. Right now we're talking about personal security, safety security. When the neighborhood goes to pot, we're here with Ed and Mike with survive2day.com, and they've written the Urban Survival Guide. And what we're talking today about is surviving in your car in a personal safety situation. Guys, what's important when people are driving in their car?
Well, George, the biggest thing is knowing how to drive. When you're driving in the city or in any area where you suspect that there's a criminal element, you've got to be very aware of what you're doing. Most doors nowadays, as soon as you turn the car on, they'll automatically lock, but if they don't, make sure your doors are locked. Second of all, when you come to a stop sign or a stoplight, you always leave at least one car length in front of your front bumper, because if someone comes up to your window with a gun or a hammer or something like that, you want to be able to hit the gas, jerk the wheel, and get out from behind the car in front of you. So that's a big thing. The other thing is to be aware of some of the scams that these people do. There's not just smash and grab, where when you're at a red light, they'll come up, they see a purse or a laptop bag on your passenger seat, they smash the window, they grab it, and they're gone. In addition to that, when they do the bumper tap, what happens is the guy in front of you backs his car up because you're really close to him at a red light or stop sign and taps you. Then he gets out all apologetic, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry, did I hit your bumper?" And you get out to look and see if there's any damage, and meanwhile, you didn't even see the guy behind you jumps into your car, and he's off with your car. Okay, so there's the bumper tap. They also do the bumper tap from behind. The guy hits you from behind, and while you're looking in your rearview mirror, all worried about who hit me from behind, they get you from the front. So situational awareness and driving habits can really go a long way towards keeping you from being victimized in your car.
Well, let me throw a situation. This happened to me in my younger years. Number one mistake, I was driving in a bad area at 1 a.m. in the morning, and a group of 4 guys actually cut me off. One guy, severely drunk, got out of the car and opened my door, threatened me with some sort of weapon. It was like a bottle or something, but ended up taking me out of the car. I thought I was dead. They pulled me out of the car. I was on the street, and instead of beating me up, they actually jumped into my car and took my car right from me. I was totally in shock. I guess I should have had the doors locked. That would have been number one. But how would you avoid a situation like that? You got a group of armed guys or semi-armed guys, and they cut you off, and you can't go anywhere, and they all jump out of their car. They're coming at you. What do you do?
You listen to my brother Ed, who used to be a bouncer.
I'll tell you one thing. What you ought to do is keep moving. I know if they cut you off and you're physically kind of pinned in, that's one thing, but you can try backing up. Unless there's two cars acting in concert, back up, and I think when they get out of the car, or if somebody jumps in front of the car, which is another ploy that they'll use, this happens in Argentina quite a bit, they'll jump in front of the car expecting that you're going to stop. And I know there's a lot of people that would stop, but you've got to keep going. And I guarantee you they're going to jump back out of the way. And if they don't, well, that's on them. But use the car to your advantage. The car's a weapon.
Yeah, I remember this situation, and honestly, I couldn't have put it in reverse. It happened so quick, but I could have slammed on the gas. But I think I would have ran the guy over, or I would have hit the car.
That's because you're probably a good guy. You know, you don't want to kill somebody, and they don't care about that. And so, not that we want to become killers, but you almost have to train yourself to be ready in that right situation to do the thing that you don't want to do.
Yeah, I guess if I could have slammed on the gas, I could have turned right. But I'll be honest with you, I remember 3 guys getting out of the car, and I had 3 ways to go. Forward, I would have hit their car, which I doubt if I would have done any damage. I was in a small car. If I would have went left, I would have hit the perpetrator. If I would have went right, I would have hit the 2 guys trying to stop him. So
yeah, I think in that situation, remember that vehicle can also be a weapon, and that's normally a bad thing. Normally in civil society, everything that you train for is to avoid pedestrians. So it's really ingrained in us. But if you're in a situation like that and your life is threatened, flip the switch.
Wow, that's really hard for people to do. Now, if you're a woman driving in your car, what are some things you need to be aware of what's going on and when you're driving? Don't drive at nighttime. That's another thing. People do that a lot here in Southern California. They go to the ATM really late at night and they do shopping late at night. I hate it when my wife does that because I know when she's going to her car, I know she's a target in the parking lot as well as, who knows, on the street.
Yeah, I think that the big thing for women is, again, situational awareness. Red lights and stop signs leave a lot of room between you and the car in front of you. You don't get out if someone is pulling you over and flashing a badge. Like Oprah said a couple years ago, just keep driving slowly. You're not trying to escape, but you don't know if they're a real cop or not. Wait until you see a cop. And by all means, don't put your purse or any other bag on the passenger seat, because they ride by in a bicycle when you're at a red light, they see it, they smash your window, and they're gone. You're just inviting disaster. Put your purse or your bag or your laptop bag on the floor behind the passenger seat. That way you're not advertising to become a victim.
Another thing too, and this is something that can surprise you, when it's more of an opportunity crime where people will accidentally knock into somebody or have an accident in a bad area, and they get out of their car and they're going to exchange information and they're going to do the right thing, and before you know it, there's a crowd of people that are kind of coming around you and want to do violence to you. So in that situation or in any situation where you don't feel safe, drive to a police station.
And I've heard this in the news. This happens quite often. Is someone will have car issues and they'll be pulled over on the side of the road, and then instead of someone coming to help them, they're actually a victim. And the bad guys come and they victimize the person that is broken down on the freeway. What do you do in that situation? How do you avoid that?
Cell phone, number one. Number two, motor club. And don't get out of the car. And when you're in the car, you got your mace with you, especially if you're a female. So if you don't have to unroll the window down, you don't have to be. You can be as rude as you want to. It's your life, especially if you're a woman. Stay in the car. Call for help. Wait for the motor club or someone else to come and get you, and have the mace. That's going to help you too. Or
number two, if it's a flat tire that you're talking about, and you're being threatened, drive on the flat. The criminals do it all the time.
Wow! So you could actually, if you have to, you feel threatened. Your car will still go. You'll probably damage it, but you can ride on the rim, basically.
Yeah, watch any of these high-speed chases. Invariably, the tires blow out, and these guys will keep driving. So you can get a little ways with it. Yeah,
all this advice is so counterintuitive to what you think to do, but what you're saying is if you're pulled over on the side of the road, especially if you're a woman, but I've heard men getting killed too, is don't interact with people that may want to help you because they may want to hurt you.
Another rule of thumb for road rage, never get out of the car. Never get out of the car, because you're immediately escalating that.
And you're also, there's a protective barrier between you and the bad guys when you're inside the car. When you get out, then your body and your life are exposed.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, hey, thanks for being on the show today, and we're talking about how to survive and thrive in your car in dangerous situations. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
See you, George.